getting back real quick to the GI.biz article. Again, I am not going to read directly from the article. I'm reading simply a headline. I will refer to some of the things that came out of Destin Legary's video, which of course he has confirmed that they were community noted for putting misinformation out there, which is, again, I said it in the opening, it makes me tickle pink because this is someone that was supposed to be writing an opinion piece. And it turned out to be a whole bunch of, as a matter of facts. And of course, I'll read it again, and this hurt poor Kesante's brain. Depending on how the Game Pass situation shakes out, Sony could end up being the company that enjoys the most black ink on its financials from Black Ops 6, which is a bit of a bum note in what should be a triumphant moment for Xbox. Let's talk about Call of Duty. Let's talk about this ridiculous article and the community noted article by GameIndustry.biz.
Yeah, I mean, look. So first, the numbers thing. It's somewhere around 4 to 5 billion is what they actually make per year. We already had the 4 billion from like 2 years ago.
Yes.
Last I heard, it was about 5 billion a year they're making now.
They're projecting $5.5 billion for 2025.
So. Yeah, so they're making enough. And by the way, look, I think the problem that people run into is the assumption that for Microsoft or Xbox to win must mean the failure of PlayStation or Nintendo. And that is just frankly not the world that we live in. Okay.
Thank you,
competition does not mean that you have to wipe out your competitor. Somebody somehow takes this Sony narrative that you need to wipe out your competitor to win. That's not the case. Right. Pepsi does not have to wipe out Coca-Cola. They don't. They just have to make money. That's it. They just have to make money. If they make profits, they're good. Is there a market for them to be in? That's all that matters. And Xbox is forging their path. They make tons of revenue. They're happy making tons of revenue. They'll give you a platform if you want to be on it. They'll put their games on other platforms if you want to play them there. They don't care. They have a subscription service if you want to use it. Fair enough. Phil said they're going to make 10 to 15% of their revenue on the subscription service. They don't expect Game Pass to be their revenue. They don't. It's a service that you can use if you want. They're not making it the end-all be-all. They're already in we're not acquiring a lot more user space because that's why they're increasing prices. They're okay with where they are. They've been profitable well below where they are now in sub count, right? So it's not a problem. I don't know why it's every time. Is this the end of the subscription? Is Game Pass going to die? Because this didn't... dude, they're already fine. Why are you trying to figure out Microsoft's business model when they make trillions? Just shut up and let them keep making their money. Okay? Why do we have to care? Why do we have to care? If they come out and say that it's not profitable for them, they'll tell us that. Until then, enjoy the stupid ride. Just go get your games and play them. Why do I care? This whole thing of trying to analyze Microsoft's bottom line when it's literally the company that makes the most fucking money on the why? Sorry about this word.
That's fine.
Why do I care? Why do I care? Why do I care? They literally make in profit what Sony is entire market value is. Okay, yeah. It's just a stupid comparison to make. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about their bottom line. They're not saying we're in dire straits. We don't know what's going to happen. They're not in that mode. They're just making like $20-30 billion in revenue. Why is that bad? Why do we care? It's okay. They're in the top 3 or 4 companies in gaming. Let it be. Why are we all... Nintendo doesn't make as much as Microsoft, right? Is everybody sitting there going, oh my God, what is Nintendo going to do? How will they survive? How? What is going to happen? Oh my God. Nobody cares. They just put out their freaking product. People buy it if they want to. Live with it. Just deal with it. This is always doom and gloom crap. Seriously.
You know what?
Who had the best showcase this year?
That would be Xbox, sir. By leaps and bounds.
Why are we worried? Why are we worried?
I'm not. That's for sure.
But they're putting their games everywhere. But the console's over.
Do I get to play it? Is it in my subscription? Oh, do I care? Let them play wherever they want. I get it in my subscription. I got it on my Xbox. I got it on my PC. I can play wherever I want. I'm happy.
Indeed.
Where's the downside to me? What's the problem? Call of Duty is owned by Xbox. Is it my freaking subscription now? I don't even have to buy it. I can just play it. That's a benefit to me. If you want to pay $70, $80, $90, $100, whatever you want to pay, have fun. Please pay. Let Microsoft make more money. I'll keep getting it on my subscription. You have fun. They're not dying. This is not the end. It doesn't matter if it sells one more subscription. It changes their metrics on what they do next. They're still fine. If it sells like 10, 20 million more subscriptions, you know what that means? They're going to go buy Take-Two. That's what that means.
Yeah,
why? Because they'll want GTA.
I keep saying that too. But
okay.
People
if it only does 2 million, they'll be like, maybe we don't need to buy more. Maybe we just sustain with what we've got. Right? We're making money. Let's make the best out of this. Right? If it does expand it a lot, then what's going to happen next? They're going to go find the next big thing. To me, the next big thing, you either buy Epic, which is Fortnite, or you buy Take-Two. So that's what they're going to do. That's the path they're on, right? So if it's significant, if it jumps by 10, 20 million, you should expect to see that kind of a thing. Otherwise, you've got a lot of games. Keep playing your games. Enjoy. It's not the end of Game Pass. Certainly not the end of Call of Duty. And no, making 20% is not more than making 80%. What the heck world are we in? What? Just really.
Look, here's the thing. First of all, I see Paris Lily in the chat, and again, sorry I missed you in LA, Paris. It would be great to have caught up. I know that we had different times for for our Indiana Jones thing. Maybe next time for sure. So I check. If you check your DM, I sent you a link if you want to just pop in, drop your bars, and bounce. But look. Like you, Hargeet, I think I get very annoyed about the whole numbers thing. I'm a consumer, right? And I do put myself on the stand almost automatically because I'm a retired consumer, which means that, yes, I have a great pension. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I worked super hard to get it. But I also, like many things in this world, it has a ceiling. And I bought personally, speak of the devil, yeah. Well, hey, Paris, what's going on, brother? How's everything? How you feeling,
sir?
I'm so sorry I missed you, man. I was hoping to catch up with you and Danny, and I saw that Khalif was with you. It'd have been great to catch up, but again, we can't talk about it, because we're under embargo. But glad to see you here, man. Thanks for jumping in. Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted.
There we go. We'll get you back.
Oops.
There you go. Yeah,
sorry about that. You can hear me now, right?
Yes. So yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. What I was first of all, thank you for having me up real quick. What I was going to say was. Yeah, the thing we went to on Friday, Indiana Jones. I was supposed to be in your session, and then last minute they moved me to 10 o'clock. So that's why I missed you. So I didn't get to see you. Yeah.
All right, maybe next time. But it was fun. It was fun to. I met a bunch of new people I've never met before. Yeah. It was great. But listen, you said something in the chat that I think was very interesting. If you wouldn't mind repeating, because I don't know if anyone saw it. I know I saw it. That's why I invited you in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just pop in and say this really quick. It's just with the Call of Duty thing with Game Pass. I saw the same article from GameIndustry.biz, and I read it, and I saw what a few other people have said around the industry. And even on Kind of Funny, we were just talking about this the other day. Game Pass is not relying on Call of Duty. Call of Duty alone is not going to grow Game Pass. Call of Duty alone is not going to make people unsubscribe, right? Call of Duty is another cog in the wheel of an overall subscription service. So yes, it's great that it is there, but if Game Pass is going to remain what it is, continue to, and I know it's not going to grow huge. Phil has talked about this, a lot over the past couple of years, but if Game Pass is going to remain sustainable, it's about consistency. Yeah. It's about having things from their first party studios consistently in the service to keep you subscribed across multiple genres. We're starting to see that. And I know every time with Xbox is wait until next year, but I kind of do feel like we're finally here. Just look in the last few months, we got Aura, we got Age of Mythology, the Diablo expansion just came out. We're about to get Flight Sim. We're going to get Stalker 2. What am I missing? I'm missing something else. Obviously
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. You guys went to? That's
right. Yeah, Indiana Jones. Obviously, Call of Duty. Next year, we're getting Avowed. We're going to get Doom. We're going to get South of Midnight. We're going to get Fable, and who knows what else. But if they can consistently start doing this year over year, you're not going to lose the people that are already there, the 30 plus million, whatever the number is right now, right? And you're going to slowly but surely start to get more people across multiple devices. And I know Diehards don't want to hear that because they want everything to be on an Xbox, and things have changed, in the past 8 to 9 months. We know that. So it is just the reality of what it is. But Game Pass isn't going to go anywhere for them. I mean, when you think about the legacy of Phil Spencer and everything that he's done with Xbox, Game Pass is going to be right up there at the top of the list, for better or worse. So clearly he wants his legacy to be successful, right? He wants Xbox to be successful. So I think they're going to be fine. I don't really have any major concerns about Xbox. I mean, if you're concerned that some of your favorite games are going to show up on a competitor's platform, okay, fine. But that's your personal choice. But you're also still going to get those games on an Xbox, right? They're going to continue to make Xbox hardware. You're going to get Game Pass. We see the roadmap of games. I think, Hargeet, you even just said it before I came on, who had the best showcase in 2024? It was Xbox, without a doubt. Yep. I mean, that showcase, again, I jokingly said it was a 9.5 out of 10. It turned out to be a 10 out of 10. That's how good it was. So They're fine. They're fine. They got plenty of games coming down the pipe that I think people are going to be really excited about.
I didn't mind dropping the $30 because I'm getting the game in my service. Let's get your thoughts on the quote unquote, the math ain't mathin'.
So honestly, it's very strange to me. Like, it's just very strange to me, because usually what gets people, what gets people hopped up or crazy about it is the fact that you'll thread the needle rhetorically in an article somewhere, and they meant A, and they say it in a kind of way to get people hopped up and get people upset, right? I don't see any way, shape, or form where this makes any kind of logical sense. Let's assume for a moment that, right, like you guys have already described, right? It's coming to PS4, it's coming to PS5, and obviously it's also coming to Xbox and Game Pass, right? Let's assume for a moment that every single user on Xbox plays it via Game Pass, okay? Let's also assume for a moment that every user that plays it on Game Pass has a $1 deal. Obviously, that's not the case, but let's just make that assumption, right? Even if that was the case, all the PS4 players and all the PS5 players and all the Steam players and all that, the money goes to Microsoft. So in what world does it make more money for Xbox, PlayStation than it does, unless you think the monetary value is equivalent to Game Pass subs, which still makes no sense. It's like, what surprises me is, I know it's an op-ed, but usually there are editors that kind of review. This part of it makes no logical sense at all to me. Right? Like they own the content. If you buy the content, even if you get 20%, they're getting 80. If you get 30, they're getting 70. I'm sorry, but last I checked, 70 was bigger than the rest. So even if nobody at all buys it on Xbox, they are still making all of the money. They're super happy because you PlayStation folks will buy it for them, and they're making all the money. Like, this is why they put their games everywhere, to make sure you and Xbox and PC and everybody else has an opportunity to buy. So if you do buy and you don't use their subservice, how in what universe does you not using their subservice and using cash equal less money for them? It just doesn't make any mental sense to me. But yeah, I agree by and large with what Paris and what Hargeet was saying. At this point, it's additive, right? And don't get it twisted. Every time they say, it's not going to grow this big, or we don't want it to be the biggest thing in the world. Yes, they do. They want it to be the biggest thing in the world. But they're also realistic in knowing where they are today, right? They don't expect that 33 or 34 some odd million users all of a sudden turns into 110 overnight. That's not realistic, right?
Correct.
And they know that if they put their wishes and dreams on their sleeve and announce that to you all, right? And by you all, I mean us as the public. The minute that eventuality doesn't happen, because we all know it won't happen, that's unrealistic. Now it'll be the broom you used to beat them whenever possible. Oh, you said you get 110 million subscribers and you didn't. So it's in their best interest to downplay its effect. But this is Call of Duty after all, right? It is the biggest game that ever releases at all times. So yeah, if they do wake up one morning and it produces them 110 million subscribers on Game Pass, they'd be happy with that, right? It's the same thing with people go too extreme and they go, oh, they don't like console sales. Yes, they do. Of course they do.
Of course they do.
They just want a mature endpoint. If it's going to be console sales, great. If it's going to be you subscribing and playing it on freaking the Fire Stick, also great. Now, of course, the hardcore gamer will be, no, that's trash. That's trash to you, but that's still cha-ching to them. Like, you know, like that's literally, and that's why I keep saying that their barometer for success is different than our barometer for success, right? Oh, console sales are going down the drain. Yeah, but that's not the end of the, that's not their mark of success, right? If console sales are going down the drain and their mark of success is profit, they're still winning, right? If it's revenue, if it's monthly active users, they're still winning. They are still there. They're still doing it. The only place where, specifically with COD, where I see a very interesting juxtaposition, we'll have to wait and see when the dust settles, is how far does it tip in one direction versus another, right? How many people see the numbers and go, yo, I'd rather get a Game Pass sub for this one, right? Because then I can get the deluxe edition and it's not $110, it's maybe $30 or $40 because I already have the base game included. How many people go that route versus, nah, I'll just buy it? Because like Hargi, I think you were mentioning, that kind of postmortem will dictate certain things. Now, it doesn't mean the Game Pass is dead tomorrow. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, we've decided the next version of COD won't come to Game Pass. No, it's all going to continue to do that. But I have a feeling that how the moving and shaking happens there in that realm will determine some of the strategic moves they take with that franchise moving forward on their own platform and beyond, right? It will be interesting to see because this is that big gorilla. It is that big monster, right? If that monster really does like make a huge splash to the point where it makes those Game Pass signups for Starfield look like nothing, yeah, maybe we do start seeing them pushing bigger, badder, more bombastic fare to Game Pass because, hey, we've been able to make that work, right? Yeah. If it doesn't, and those who like it there, and still the bulk of the sales comes from sales, which it most likely will because there's far more PlayStation users than others. Indeed. Then most likely it continues to be an option, but they don't spend too much time or too much energy on, oh, we're going to use this as a method to increase Game Pass subs. They see that it may not go that way, right? But the idea that, oh, at the end of the day, this may end up being more beneficial to PlayStation than Xbox. I would love, genuinely, I'm not being facetious. I'm not trying to be cheeky about it. I would genuinely like to see somebody thread that needle and make it make sense to me, because to me, that's just like basic rudimentary failure in mathematics. I'm sorry. And for the record, I am a COD a campaign player. I'm the rare snowflake, right? I will play the campaign before I play anything else, right? And what that usually means, I have always advocated for them to split the campaign from the multiplayer, because I'll pay you the $40 for the campaign, right? I will every year, right? And I know that's never going to happen, which is fine. But because we live in a world where it's in a subservice that I already have subscribed to, I have no reason not to try the multiplayer. I have no reason, because there's no skin off my nose. I play the game. I'm excited about the game. As we saw in the June showcase, it looks super, super bombastic and cool and everything you want from a Michael Bay-esque type video game, right? Right? So once you're done with that, if it continues to thrill you and it continues to be exciting, maybe you jump into the multiplayer from time to time, right? I don't see any losses in this world at all, right? So for me, I'm good with it. I think it's exciting. Now, the thing that I want, and then I'll drop the mic, the thing that I want is I want a world where once they put all the CODs into Game Pass, I want a UI that lets me play all the campaigns.